I made it to the rendezvous and I never had to use my advantage. So I guess like that's kind of cool, but like also I could have used it just to shake some shit up and maybe meet some of the Georges before going into the rendezvous. But it is what it is. I didn't have to use it, and that's just something I can talk about later. Also, what else? Oh, so it was like a mess. We had like this elaborate thinking about it, it's like really funny, and I can't wait until after the season is over so I can tell this story to people. But we had this elaborate plan to vote out Ryan, like our cranberries group, which is me, Cara, Jess, Joshy, and Eli. Eli made up this elaborate plan. We were like, okay. And at some point they were all like, nah, it's not happening. Like the plan ain't going through. And I still voted Ryan. So I didn't know. I kind of figured like going into it, I was like, you know, like this is a really bad idea if anybody does, like if this happens, because like they'll know it was us and his name was never mentioned and he just got 5 votes. Like that would be really bad. So I'm glad they didn't do it. But also now I have to, like, I already lied to Joseph. Like, so now I don't know. I might have to try and do some damage control with Joseph and tell him I'll target Austin with him. And I really liked Rocky and I didn't know where that was going. Oh, Rocky ended up being the vote and there were all of these like advantages played. Like Joseph played 2, Austin played his extra vote, Courtney played a shot in the dark. Like no one said her name. She's nuts, but it's funny. Okay, bye. Oh, also to add on to that video, I just want to say, apparently, what the fuck? Apparently Joshy and I are a duo, which is true, but I'll have to vote him out because like if it's my name along with somebody, like no, Joshy can go. So, okay, thanks.
My God, dude, today was, I got by the skin of my teeth and by the confusion of a split vote that I don't think was supposed to be split. Start off the day, I almost win exemption, and God, I wish I did. Yeah, Jonathan, no, of course, it's no. I don't freaking know what it is. Anyways, I wish that I did win, because then it would have been a lot less stressful for me. But, oh my gosh. The entire time while talking, I'm just sitting there. I don't know what to say. It's hard. It's hard out here. All of a sudden, Courtney's like, I went to vote for Rocky in front of a lot of people. She's thrown Rocky's name out left and right. There's nothing I can say at this point because I don't want Rocky. I want Cara because we think that Joseph has a compass, and I didn't want Rocky. I wanted Cara, but I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to be like, yeah, let me just throw out another name out here. Then I hear my name and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going home. It just made me upset that Courtney was so quick to throw Rocky under the bus after we had basically agreed to hold him for at least one round so we could vote together and get the numbers. And now the 4 of us are scrambling to try and find an extra number. And that's how it is. Courtney is so unpredictable, it's hard to work with her. But we get to Crossroads and I am so nervous. Courtney plays her shortcut, so that means that Austin gets an extra vote. Awesome. Joseph is like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to steal Annie's vote. Okay. Isn't that great? Thanks. At that point, I was like, I'm going home. Whenever I did not go home, whenever it was Rocky's name instead of mine, dude, I was so happy. Let me go back, and Austin is automatically hounding these people, and they're lying about voting for Rocky. They voted for me or Austin. And they're lying. Not Rocky, oh my gosh. Ryan and I were talking, and we were like, well, if you think about it, we just need one more to make a tie. We still have a chance. I still have a chance. Just because we were defeated this time doesn't mean that we're down and out. We still have a chance. These past few crosswords have been very defeating. You know, first we lose Bar, and we lose Rocky. Our numbers have been dwindling. We had so many, and now they're dwindling. And now we are scrambling to find something. I'm not saying this entire situation is because of Courtney and her big mouth. But there is a way to use Courtney's big mouth to our advantage. You know, throw a name out to her, and then she can throw out that name for us. Anyways, today I barely got a word in because, one, I didn't want to shoot myself in the foot, and two, I didn't feel like there was much room for me to talk in a lot of these situations. Just sat and listened, and I will happily sit and listen, because at this point I don't want to be seen as a threat anymore. I don't want to be targeted, so I'm happy to fade into the background for a little bit and play the numbers game. I'm not going to make any flashy moves as of right now. I'm going to be calm, cool, and collected. What a day. So scary, so scary. Okay. All right. I'm actually so glad that I'm still here. I thought I was gone. Whew.
Get me out tonight. That was crazy. As a avid fan of Survivor and of this show, it was so cool to watch. I am definitely a little sour, but like I'm still trying to take it in stride and be a good sport like everybody else who's been getting voted off. Because one, I played my advantage successfully and I let them know it, like, fuck you guys. And second, that like there are some serious cracks forming. If it's me tomorrow, okay, cool. At least I wasn't the first. But if it's not, then I really got to get my like squad together. My squad is fracturing fast. But that's great moving forward because there's a lot of cracks to wiggle through. And at the end of the day, although I played an advantage that worked nice in my favor, there was also somebody else who is a huge threat, and I'm on the fence of even trying to work with this person, Joseph, to be specific. He's a great player, and I'm sad that we're like pitted against each other. But I would definitely love to work with him. I just don't think it's in our cards, and I feel like he feels that as well too. And I almost believe him that Ryan kind of threw my vote out there, only because Ryan mentioned to me the other day that we think a lot alike, and I've also been thinking about getting Ryan out, so it only makes sense.
You are looking at a new member of the Rendezvous party. We made the Rendezvous. Yes, oh my god. We were speculating that it might be today, and it ended up being today, and I'm so happy about it. So happy to be rendezvoused. Oh my god. But it was hectic. Oh my god. It was so chaotic. So many different things being told. Too much was happening all at once. It's so hard to jump to rooms to talk to people. Like, yeah, there was a lot happening tonight. Right after the challenge, Joshy won exemption, and then right after that, it was jump right into it. Like, there was no break. So I got to speak a lot to Austin. It seems like he's like going around saying a lot of different things, so I really want it to be on his good side, which is why I told him where my vote went, and I wanted him to know for sure that I wasn't one of the votes for him, because I think it's better to be on his good side than to be on his bad side, because he knows what he's doing. He's serious. And I've been saying this whole time that I've been wanting to get to talk to Austin again, and so yeah, hopefully he feels like good with me. I know he's probably close with Annie, and I told him that I voted Annie, and I don't know, that could potentially hurt me, but like, he was throwing Annie's name out first, so, you know. Rocky did end up going home. I was nervous that he might play something, but ultimately, like, he was throwing my name out, so better him than me. Sorry, Rocky. You were just being a little too chaotic there, you know? Like, I think I'm being a little chaotic too, but like, you were throwing out too many names. And then Joseph, oh my gosh, with all of the advantages, good for him. That was awesome. But like, that was crazy. Like, so many different things came into play there. He played an idol, he stole a vote, and he already previously played an idol. So that was crazy. And then something that I found out that I thought was interesting, and like, oh my god, Ryan. Love him. Love talking to Ryan. I'm so happy that I got to talk to him. Like, we had like one conversation on like day 2 maybe, and like, I thought he was cool. Didn't get to see him again until tonight. Why did Jess tell him our plan? Like, what? Why did she do that? There was no reason for that. Oh my god. I mean, like, I don't think he's lying about that. I didn't know what to say in that moment, but like, wow. When he said that, that was mind-blowing to me. That was crazy. And then someone gave Austin an extra vote, is what he said, but like, then he also said he got it. I don't know. So he's like a little shifty in his stories, but he was given an extra vote. So yeah, so I'm a little nervous. Like, I said where I voted, so whatever. Eli's saying he voted Rocky, which isn't good now that we know 2 of the 4 votes on Rocky were Austin, allegedly. Eli voted Annie with me. Like, that's like, so I don't know how that's gonna come into play. I think Austin thinks it was Joshy, even though it wasn't Joshy. Joshy voted Rocky. So we know where 3 of the Rocky votes came. Assuming the last one was Jess. And then, yeah, I have to look at the voting thing again. But like, yeah, finally got clarity that Austin was apparently the 1 vote on Thomas on the first night. That was interesting to hear. But yeah, I think Austin is like not happy at all going into our next day. Oh my gosh. And like, I don't blame him. Like, his name was being thrown out. He caught 3 votes. So, and like, that's why I was like really making it clear to him, like, it was not me. Like, I do not want him to think it was me at all. And it wasn't me. So like, I'm being honest. But yeah, I'm a little, like, I of course trust the Cranberries. I trust us 5. But I am nervous going forward because it is so hard for us to talk. I'm worried that people might catch on. I don't think that's what is being caught. I don't think anyone's thinking that right now. I think a lot of people are just like against Team Sandra and against Joseph. I think Joseph is in a little bit of trouble now that he doesn't have an idol. And like, he got all of the votes of that one. He doesn't have the compass, and he got all of those votes at the last crossroads he was at. So yeah, it's a little scary right now for Joseph and Austin, I would say. But yeah, I don't know. I really need to figure out why Jess told Ryan. Why would she say that? That was so awkward that happened. And I feel bad. Sorry, Annie. Sorry for voting for you. Nothing against you. Sorry. but I was so nervous that Rocky was going to play something, or that Joseph could potentially play his idol on Rocky, and then the votes come back to one of us. You know, you never know. So, yeah. I do want to talk to Joseph more. I'm a little worried about it, because like I didn't vote the way that he was thinking. Yeah. But the only other name that I heard thrown out besides Rocky, Austin, and Joseph was Annie. So yeah. Yeah. Wow, that was stressful. I don't know. It's gonna be a very interesting next day. Fingers crossed it's anyone but me.
Everyone, welcome to a very, very special episode of the Prince's Podcast. This episode is so special that we're going to start off with a question from the callers.
Prince, did you make it to the rendezvous?
Hell yeah! You're damn right I did. Are y'all excited? I'm excited. Did you think I was going to get here? I thought I was going to get here. I was running, man. I was sprinting, feet to ground, just boom, 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 to get here. Man, and I did it. Oh, I got to the rendezvous. Needed to get here. Needed to start linking up with some other people. Let's get into it. Let's get into Expedition Online, Episode 8, The Rendezvous. So before this episode even started, all day I was speculating. I was going through the numbers. I said, well, season 1 was a cast of 18 and they rendezvoused at 9. Season 2 was a cast of 16 and they rendezvoused at 10. I was going through all the stats. I was thinking, oh, it could go either way. They could rendezvous us at 9. They could do 10 or they could do 11. But I had a feeling deep in the gut. I got a big gut too. And it was deep down there. Like, we're going to rendezvous today. And we did. Everyone gets back together. We have an exemption challenge. I destroy that exemption challenge, and not in the good way of destroy. I lost it so bad. You had to swipe a card to hit, or a pack of cards. You'd like hockey puck them to hit down cups. I probably didn't get that pack of cards more than 2 inches every single time. So that was out, which is good. You know, I didn't want to be a threat off the jump. Joshy wins, which is good. That lets the Cranberries' plan start to take action. But once we all get together, that plan goes bing, out the window. Thank God those people didn't trust me. Thank God those people were questioning my plan so much, because I had to throw that shit out. I was not going for Ryan. Ryan comes to me and tells me, they're telling people you're going after the blue boys. Who the fuck told y'all that? Who told y'all that? Because that is secret. And it's true, but like, no, how do you know that? Then he goes, they're telling people that you got some beef with Joseph. I said, God damn, that's true too. How do y'all know this? But you know the Prince, always putting on a smile, putting on the charm, going, what? That can't be right. I don't have that. That's not me. So I'm playing down all that stuff, right? So I get Ryan locked back in. And then in my head, I go, can't be Ryan. We cannot go through with the Ryan vote tonight. That would be god awful for my game, because Ryan literally just came to me and said, I still got you. I'm still looking out for you. Why the hell would I want to get rid of him? I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. I think I was nervous if he was going to come back or not. So it was good to chat with him again. Then I get with Courtney again. Always good to see Courtney. And I'm such a shit talker, so they're going to see the episode, all the videos, and I'm like, you can't trust Courtney. She's all over the place. But after I talk to her, it's good. Talk to Austin again. Austin still, it looks like Austin's good with me. But that's like a good that we're keeping arm's length. I don't want to get too close with Austin, because Austin still got Courtney and Annie right up his side. Joseph, talked to him again, was actually able to squash the beef with Joseph, and he's rocking with me. I think that the whole Joseph versus Austin that the Cranberries wanted to perpetuate really took off tonight, and everything Austin told me just furthered that. Austin saying, yeah, well, I heard you're against Joseph, and Joseph played his compass. And so I go to Joseph and I say, well, Austin told me that this is bad. I said, Joseph, this is bad, me and you? It can't be. Austin lying. And it worked. It worked for me. Let's take another question from a caller. Caller, you are live on the Prince's Podcast.
Prince, with a rendezvous happening, who are you working with?
Yeah, perfect question, caller. So let's lay this out. I got my Cranberry 5, right? Me, Joshy, Aleaha, Jess, and Cara. We're still rock solid. That's not going to shake. I got Ryan back in the fold. Ryan's looking out for me. I'm looking out for Ryan, sort of. Courtney back in the fold. Now, at first, the beginning of the night, I was like, okay, Courtney, like, whatever, we'll work. But then at the end of the night, I reeled it back in, and I told her, I said, listen, do whatever you got to do, but just make sure Austin's not mad at me. And she goes, oh, he would, oh, never, I'll tell you if he is. Perfect. Get a little chat in with Annie. Haven't met Annie, but I know how to be charming. I said, hey, Annie, I said, you having fun with this game? Like, it's good for you? And she goes, oh, it's been rough. And I said, hey, well, we got this real fun opportunity. We can really just kind of start something fresh here that not a lot of other people have. She goes, yeah. Working with Joseph. Joseph and I are good to go. He comes to me and says, we should go for Austin. I said, I'll try it. I just don't know about the compass he may have. He had an extra vote. Didn't matter. I didn't vote for Austin. I voted for Annie. Because in my head, I'm thinking, well, if Rocky plays something, if Joseph plays something, and if Austin plays something, there's going to be votes, just a few little votes, and I don't want them on mine. So me and Cara get together. We were going to vote Courtney, but Courtney left tribal. She took her shortcut. So we voted for Annie, just in the off chance, and it almost worked. We had a 3-3-4, and Rocky went home. And you know what's great about that? Not that Rocky went home, because I feel bad, but me and Rocky, we mended the bridge. I told him, I said, listen, dude, that was just an off start for us, and I get it. It's no hard feelings. He goes, yeah, I get that too. But I'm throwing your and Cara's name out just to play it safe. And I said, okay, well, that was a mistake, because I'm not going to vote with you now, because I don't need you here. You wrote my name once. Now you're throwing it out. You can't be around. But Rocky ended his crossroads with, I'm going to vote for the best player. Man, he was talking to the prince. I was talking to the prince. So until next time, I love y'all. Keep the prince in your prayers as he moves through the rendezvous.
I mean, seriously, holy crap. That was chaotic. Let me just be real brief. I had been in kind of a panic that I was going to have to pick with the stupid plan that the other 4 people that I had been spending my time with wanted to do, or go with Austin and Ryan. I was very unhappy about this, but that's how it was going to be. And then Eli comes in and goes, there's no way I'm voting for Ryan. And I was like, oh, like the light came down, everything was happy. And so I didn't really care who I voted for, but I didn't want to vote for Austin and Ryan and Eli. And they kept saying Annie, but I didn't really want to vote for Annie either. I like Annie. I mean, I don't like I said about Cara. I don't think we're going to be soulmates, but they're nice, and I think we could work together. Travel was a hot mess. There were like advantages all over. I don't understand where the votes came from because it seems like everyone's saying they voted for Rocky, and I voted for Rocky. So confusing. I don't know. It was just chaotic. But I'm so thankful I'm safe. I am so thankful that I didn't get a vote. I'm continuing to do my insecure, dumb, woe is me thing where I'm like, thank you for keeping me another day, everyone. I don't know. I mean, I'm thankful they kept me for another day. That is totally true. But I didn't feel that much in danger, except for when Joseph took Eli out of the room I was in to talk to him privately without me. That sketched me out. I think Joseph still has a compass, but who knows? Okay. I think that's it. Just a lot of chaos. So much chaos. We've played this game for 24 hours now, which is a full day of our life. And we'll be back on Sunday. Bye.
That was not my finest hour. Maybe having too many advantages is a bad thing because you burn a hole in your pocket. But I did not expect those votes for Annie. I thought they at least would have voted for Austin. Anyway, today's rendezvous. I'm so happy I made rendezvous. And I feel really good in my position in the game at the moment. I have a compass, a potential compass that I have to publicly state who I'm voting for at Crossroads. Great. And a steal a vote, which I hope to utilize. I hope I can utilize well. But I'm worried people would think that I have shit, which is true. And when people cotton on to that, it's just like, really? Fuck. But very happy that I'm here. at rendezvous, as tired as I am. I don't know whether I am in a good position, actually. I just had 5 people vote for me. And then tell me that they're sorry afterwards. Anyway. The challenge was fun. I thought I was going to do better than I did because I specifically picked a broom that had strong bristles so I could give it force, but it was not to be. But congratulations to Joshy. It was still fun regardless. Meeting some 11 people at once, or 11 people going at it at once, is always going to be chaos. And it was a slow burn, but it definitely picked up over the hour that we had. I really liked the fact that there wasn't any Rocky thing, but I was getting so close with Rocky. I really wanted to work with Rocky. I could see him as my ride or die. I love Rocky so much. And when I heard that his name was being pushed, I was like, okay, fuck. And I was trying to push Annie, and Annie wasn't grabbing as much. So, I don't know. I felt really torn. And then when Rocky tried to push Austin, I was like, a lot of conversations have been happening, and the math wasn't mathing about what Austin said. And at this point, everyone knows we all lied to each other, which is great. It was chaos. And when we started to push Austin said he wasn't pushing my name, but he was. And he wasn't pushing my name, but just saying, Joseph has a lot of advantages, by the way. Which was worrying for me because I did. Then we get to Crossroads, and for the most part, it was very diplomatic answers. People weren't giving away too much, but I was happy to throw a spanner in the works, and I had to say who I was planning to vote for that night. I made sure I said that it didn't have to be the truth, so I said Rocky's name, and I gave Rocky a heads up that if I do something with a tribal, just so you know, don't think too much about it. And we really, I think I fucked up. Getting Austin out is still my number 1 priority, but maybe I just have to fucking work with him. And I failed on George would be disappointed. I'm disappointed in myself. I've gone from a high of using a compass to a low of using it when I didn't need to use it. And I knew deep down that I was okay, but maybe I'm trying to convince myself that there's benefit in people knowing that I don't have a compass. I should have used my steal a boat better. Yes, I was worried for Rocky. And I could have used both to save him. Now I think about it, I feel really shit that I didn't play a good game today. And I've thought about this compass, and I was like, I have to do it publicly. And if I tell people I'm going to play it, then they're not going to vote for me. And I'm not crying. I just have a sore throat. I'm so much talking tonight. Where do I go from here? Austin is really pissing me off. I mean, I said I had a list, and that people voted for me will be coming off that list. It's just that I didn't expect that I really wanted to work with one of them. So, Rocky, I'm sorry I couldn't save you. Today sucks. But on the bright side, I made rendezvous. Do I have a path forward? Yes. But I have to be smart about it. Can I work with Austin? I don't know. I need to be able to work with Annie. She doesn't talk. Need to be able to work with Courtney. Why did she... Courtney also fucked up. Why would you use a safety without power? I'm I'm dunking on someone who incorrectly played an advantage when I just did that twice. Two other people voted for Annie. Whoever you were, you're fucking stupid. You should have voted Austin. Ugh. Jess is mad at me because I left her in a room. Ugh, Jess overthinks things. I gotta learn how to communicate with her better. Or adapt my communication style with her because she's a loose cannon. She's not gonna get very far. Courtney's not gonna get very far. I'm looking forward to the break over the next 2 days. I'll digest everything. The day sucks.
Liar, liar, pants on fire. This crossroads went very well. A steal a vote was played incorrectly. An idol was played incorrectly. An extra vote was played, I guess, correctly. But all those advantages are gone. There's another compass clue out there. I decided I'm going to look for it, but I decided that to spend my time doing this, seeing who the liars are. So coming into this vote, the Cranberries, me, Aleaha, Jess, Cara, Eli, had a plan to get rid of Ryan. That plan was going extremely well. The other side, Joseph and Austin, we fostered a beef between them. It was working great. They were super splintered. But then last minute, Eli and Cara pulled me into a room based on, and them saying based on the messiness and the splittiness of that other side, we didn't have to really worry about all 6 of them stacking their votes onto one of us, which I agreed with. Also, I had individual exemption. So I could do whatever I wanted. And they told me that they were switching the vote to Rocky. But in reality, they and Jess were splitting their vote between Austin and Ryan. I'm sorry, Austin and Annie. Okay? And when I told Jess very last minute the plan was Rocky, she was like, oh, okay, and acted surprised. But Eli and Cara had told Jess the plan before. What I'm realizing is that after the summit a while ago, Cara came and spoke first to Jess and then to Eli. And then none of us were able, and then I spoke to Eli. But that was Cara's go-to. First Jess and then Eli. And what she said in there was she shared that she had some kind of advantage so that Jess can trust her and Eli can trust her. Right? I still don't understand why there was a 4-1 vote on Thomas when there was 6 votes there. I believe Cara is lying because Joseph said that he had to do the Rebus puzzle and it was super easy and then he got to steal a vote. I believe Joseph. Joseph has been super honest with me. He told me where he put his 2 votes. He told me about the challenge. He hasn't been shady at all. Austin, on the other hand, has been super shady. He first said, I'm not telling anybody where I got my advantage from. And then he slipped up and said, oh, I used my advantage. I didn't even have to work for it. I was given it. And that would mean that Jess and Austin worked together to let Austin have the advantage. Jess is playing a smarter game and a more well-rounded game than anyone is seeing. I still think that I'm close with her, but I can't trust Jess. I can trust Aleaha. Aleaha is my number one. I can trust her completely. She voted Ryan accidentally. I tried to warn her to vote Rocky, but she didn't get my message. But this really means that I have to switch the vote onto the Cranberries, either next vote or the vote after. I need to pick up Joseph, Austin, and Ryan and Annie. I would like to get rid of Austin next round because he doesn't trust me. He's shady. He keeps information to himself. He's a little bit aggressive. All those things, I don't want Austin here. And I want to pull in Annie. And I want to expose the Cranberries sooner rather than later. The Cranberries have broken up in my mind. Aleaha has to know that, especially with this switch at this rendezvous. At this rendezvous vote. Yeah, Cara is a good player, and she's sneaky, and she's lying. Cara is not good at lying. She may be good, but when you sit in a room with her, not saying anything for like 5-10 minutes, which has happened often with me and Cara, I know Cara doesn't trust me to tell me her silly secrets or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna expose this game soon, coming up. I just need Austin to go next. Or someone like Courtney. Because you can't count on Courtney's vote. You don't know where it's going to go. But I want to expose the Cranberries to Joseph, Ryan, and potentially Austin if I need to. Depending on if I get individual immunity tomorrow, I could flip this game upside down. Yeah, if I get individual exemption, then I can flip this game upside down and I can take control. But I don't need control right now. I just need to make sure I can get the numbers, and I'm the first person to expose the Cranberries before they get to me. I have to make sure that look like I'm in with Jess, Eli, and Cara. But I have to keep Joseph because now I trust him one of the most, and I probably trust Ryan as well. And the fact that Eli and Cara put 2 votes on Annie should make Annie not trust Cara and Eli. But yeah, I have to keep my threat level down. I don't think getting another immunity win will actually raise my threat level because I have this information that I'm ready to expose. And I would rather do it with safety. But yeah, sorry for this long video. I just know that Cara, Eli, and Jess are stirring up trouble. They're ready. They're keeping Austin in the game to use him to take me out eventually, or me and Aleaha out. Yeah. So just wait. The fireworks will happen. I think I need one more round of votes, and I don't think they'll go after me the next round because right now it's a 5-5 split. It's 10 players left, and there's, the original Cranberries are 5. So that's a strong number. Yeah, they're going to want to be able to take someone out with 5 votes. So, yeah, we'll see. After the last vote, I found a clue for the hidden compass. I found a clue to the hidden compass, and yeah, so I'm sitting pretty. I have a clue to the hidden compass, and the thing that I have to do to get the compass is be the first person at Crossroads to say the drought is over. I don't really care if everybody knows I have the idol. I don't really care if everybody knows that I have the compass, but I expect that some people have also got this clue. So I think it's going to be a public compass anyway. So I'm just going to go for it right away. It'll be a little tricky, but I don't really care if people know. I should be okay next vote because I don't think it makes sense for the Cranberries to turn on me yet. Yeah, and also after I got the clue to the compass, it was like 9:30 in the morning on Thursday. 9:30 in the morning on Thursday. I got it, and before this game, I had previously made a bunch of fake accounts, like a Shane Byrne fake account, who's our head of production, I made an Expedition Online account for Instagram, and I made another Expedition Online YouTube account to fake post things from. I didn't know whether or not I needed to do that, but I thought this was a perfect opportunity to throw people off, because the clue for the hidden compass was on a post on Sandra's Instagram that promoted Nina winning individual immunity in Australian Survivor. So it said, take a screenshot of this and show Jonathan to get the next clue. But I wanted to discourage people from getting that clue in the first place. So I posted as a Shane Byrne 1992 Instagram account, but the only difference between the Instagram account is that the Y and the R are swapped. I think his name is Bryne, but I put Bryne for my fake Instagram handle. So I made a post under that comment saying the compass has been claimed, so that hopefully people would look into the replies of that comment and be discouraged to even send it to Jonathan. That's my goal. So I want as little amount of people to know that I have this public compass as possible right now. And we'll see what happens on Sunday.
Well, that was quite the adventure tonight, folks. I was on my lying bullshit a lot. So let me run it down for you. Night starts and immediately the Team Georges are being a little bit too sweetsy to each other. I'm not feeling it. It's a lot of it feels like bullshit. We have no reason. Cara and Eli have no reason to have deep trust with any of us. We went to one vote. I'm in the same boat with them. So it's like there's question marks. We've obviously had these different people for rounds now. But still, we settle on the names Rocky. Joseph wants to do Annie for whatever twisted reason. Who the fuck cares? And I was grateful enough to connect back up with Jess, have our thing with Austin. I ran into Eli and gave him the warning right away that people were pinning a lot of bullshit on him. That's been my little angle here. I like running to people and being like, this person said this about you. You should have that sorted out. And so that was great. And then the night progresses. I was trying to figure out a way to save Rocky and Annie, who was also out there. But it didn't have an angle since the other name was on Joseph. Like we didn't have a place to tackle. But needed to keep his name out there as the other name in order to flush his compass, which we all knew he had. And the night progresses for the longest time. And our round is ending at 9:55, right? So, or not 9:55, 8:55. So plans must be locking up before that, right? You'd think so. No, 8:53 rolls around. Austin leaves my room. Rocky and Joseph walk in and are like, you gotta vote Austin. Like, there's Aleaha's in on it, Joshy's in on it, Cara's in on it, Eli's in on it, us two are in on it, you're in on it. And I'm like, what? And they leave. That's the end of it. I go into Crossroads with no idea. Crossroads starts, I'm bored. I sit on my phone. I then check Sandra's Instagram instead of Nina's Instagram for this clue that dropped. We went into a room and it said immunity. And I was like, oh, okay, like I'm just gonna look at Nina's Instagram. And Crossroads starts and it clicks like, oh, if there's anything, it's going to be on the coaches. So I scroll right to a picture of Sandra's where Nina's winning immunity. And see the comment that I found, the second clue. What? And Schneiman runs into my DMs. I don't know why. Schneiman runs into my DMs. And he's like, in order to get this compass, you must say the drought is over. And as I'm saying that, the questions are about like relationships with people you haven't seen before, and I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm unmuting it and I'm jumping right at it. And so I was like, oh yeah, like I haven't even met Aleaha or Joshy yet. It's been a dry spell of seeing Team Sanders, but the drought is over. And like I think I rambled a little bit and I was a little bit panicked, and people probably do know I have one now. since if anybody else found that first part, knows what the phrase was. So that's a bridge to cross another day. But I kind of like having that because I can play one and get rid of it, and everybody thinks it was the merge or the rendezvous one. And then I still have the other one for my love of Chicago. Anyway, votes come around, or what's this? Joseph does this whole shtick that's so stupid. I knew that he was going to do this crazy stuff. He didn't get an idol from saying he was going to vote for it because his explanation of that was stupid, saying that he could say anybody, didn't have to be true. That's not how that advantage would work, buddy. Then he steals Annie's vote. And at this point, I'm like, oh, fuck, maybe these votes are all there. My thing was perseverance. I really thought I needed to put a vote on Austin in order to what's it called? Like blend in with the scenes. And I was wrong. And I'm okay sitting here admitting that I was wrong and what my read was. If I just voted Rocky, it would have been a lot more clear of a vote. But as far as I'm concerned, my lying post Crossroads may cover my tracks. I told Jess I threw a vote on Annie, told Annie I did that. But I didn't take the time to think like how the numbers were falling. Like the votes on Austin, there's 3. In theory, it's 2 from Joseph. And the 1 from Rocky. But I do think, I don't know. I'm blending in as an Annie vote, maybe a Rocky vote, depending on who my conversation's with. I think it's all going to fold over in a round or 2, and that storyline's going to get dropped, so I just kind of have to lie my ass off. But my priorities after Crossroads were getting a good relationship with Cara. It's awkward. We don't have a reason to trust each other right now. But I wanted to be like, hey, like, I've liked your headspace since the beginning. Let's just keep an eye out for each other. Eli speaks really highly of you, and I like Eli. Maybe that's a trust cluster or whatever. But I also hear that name for myself at the end of Crossroads, or I guess the first vote at the start of Crossroads, came from this scheming in their party chat last round. Cara, Eli, Joshy, Aleaha, and Jess were throwing my name out in some conversations. Maybe that started from Thomas saying I was running the Blue Boys crew over there. But who knows? Regardless, it's carried over a little bit. And Jess insisted it was fine. And Cara says that her and Eli never had any interest in that. But somebody wrote my fucking name down. If I had to make a guess, it's Joshy. And we'll speak about that tomorrow to get some closure, or on Sunday, to get some closure there. I'm not mad. I have a loving heart. I have a forgiving heart. As long as you're honest, honesty is all I value. Not for my mouth. For my mouth, it will be lies. 95% of the time, it will be lies. But otherwise, I want truths and honesty. You know, that's what I value. So, yeah, fun night all together. This is what I live for. This is the rush I need. Give me a vote at Crossroads. Let me find a compass, my second compass, and it almost gets voted out. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love the chaos. I love the mess. I love not knowing if I can protect my allies, and then more or less my allies surviving. R.I.P. Rocky. Love you, buddy. In a perfect world, you didn't leave, but this is not a perfect world, and it will never be a perfect world. And I think some people just need to realize that. But yeah, see ya.